Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Wario. I work as a cloud solution architect in AI and business solutions at Microsoft currently. And this summer, I've spent my time reading this book, Why Machines Learn by Anil. So, this is a great book. I would really recommend it for anyone who is interested in machine learning, especially if you want to put everything together, like glue most of the concepts together. It will give you the basics of what is not only the basics. There is a lot of math and there is a lot of linear algebra. There is a lot of probability, and you go deep into convolutional neural networks to understand how they work. And what I do recommend with this book is, if you don't have any background in machine learning, please don't start here. Just go and do some intro videos on YouTube. If you have never done anything, just go to Free Code Academy and do some session courses on deep learning just to understand the basic concepts, and then come to this book. Once you've understood the basic concepts, this book will glue everything together for you, because in the first chapter, you go back to the perceptron, how the perceptron works, and how it actually how it processes the weights, the inputs, and the bias, and how the linear, what do I say, one of the first models used to work. So it goes from that to the matrices, how matrix multiplication happens, and what is the beauty of matrix multiplication. From there, it jumps into a topic called the bottom of the ball. This topic is more about the optimization. You know, when you have the loss function, you optimize it by doing stochastic gradient descent, where you go downhill and in a drunken way, as he explains, and you get to the lowest point in your function. So after this, he goes through probability in depth, and the where it actually comes from, the Bayesian theory. And then you have the topic called birds of a feather, which is quite interesting, because here he goes through the k nearest neighbor classification models, and then just jumps over to the matrices and goes deep into them again. And couple of chapters with the algorithms, and at the end we get to see the convolutional neural networks, and these are the eyes of the machine. So here he explains how pooling is done, max pooling, and then he explains dropout, and normalization is just mentioned, but if you want to go in depth, you should go further. And the last chapter is terra incognita. So this is where beyond where thinking can take us, and this is where he goes deep into the newest forms of deep learning, and how LLMs have come about. And he writes about, do I say, AlexNet, and covers different types of models that have come up. So this book is a structured book, and how I read this book is also that I used other tools online, which I explain further in this video. So one thing I do recommend you should do while reading this book is just spin up a Google Colab, which is free. You can have a CPU or a GPU. And in my case, I just had a simple CPU and created, as I was reading the book, when the math started getting difficult, or whenever I saw a math equation, I tried putting it into a Google Colab to see what will happen. As you can see here, chapter one is about just putting it all together, defining the weights. No, this is chapter one, yeah, just deciding the weights and the inputs and the bias, what you should do with the bias is explained there. And then you have chapter two, which is matrix multiplication. What is the shape of the new matrix when you multiply different dimensions of matrix? And chapter three is more of the optimization problem. So here you have the stochastic gradient descent, as you can see here. We dive deeper into this and do the derivation of the of the cost function with regards to the weights and the bias. So this is well explained in the book. And chapter five is more about the classification and regression algorithms. So k nearest neighbor, how you calculate the points from the to the different from the centroid to the different uh, data points, and also how you should choose the optimum number of k's. So The book is really good, and I do recommend that you read it while doing this. This was my way of learning, and I got a lot from this book. And I recommend that you read. And once you have read, please share your thoughts. And I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts about this book. Remember, guys, if it's your first time reading a book like this with a lot of math and a lot of equations, it might feel like this. Hopefully, after you've read the book a couple of times and done the math in the Google Colabs, you will feel like. Thank you guys for watching the review, and remember to hit the like and the subscribe button. See you next time.